Hey, Mike. What? Who's got next?
What is good, y'all? It's your man, Hezo. Welcome back into the Blacktop. So I am officially back, man. If some of y'all didn't know, I know some of you did. I actually just got married on the 15th, and then I went on my honeymoon last week. So that is why y'all have not seen any content from me. I actually just got back this past Saturday, but I needed a couple days, man, to just kind of recuperate and just get back on track. You know, get back into work and everything like that. But now that I am back, content is going to be resuming, you know, a lot more consistently, you know, a couple videos a week. The What If series is going to return next week officially. I took about a month or two off once the playoffs started, and I wanted to get it back. I just haven't had the time to get any content recorded with the wedding and everything. So now that is all over and done with, I got a lot more time on my hands, so content will be resuming. So let's get into today's topic, man. I've been on Twitter and everything, even though I've been out of commission for the last couple weeks, no content and everything. I've still been following, I've still been reading. Now, there hasn't been a ton, you know, going on in the NBA. This is probably the slowest time of the NBA offseason is right about now until we see, you know, our next big trade or everything. And can it be Pascal Siakam to the Atlanta Hawks? Let's talk about it. Subscribe if you are new. Drop a like on the video. No more talking. Let's get right into it. So one of the biggest trade rumors that's been going on for the last handful of weeks, you know, month or so, 2 months, whatever you want to call it, dating back to the NBA draft, was Pascal Siakam potentially getting traded. And Atlanta has been interested. They've been in contact with the Raptors. But will this trade go down? And if it does, what is the trade package for Siakam going to look like? Now, I know when the news initially broke, DeJounte was still on his expiring deal. He had not signed that contract extension. So whenever I initially read the news, I was very interested in a potential package of Clint Capella and DeJounte for Pascal, which, you know, looking back on it, probably a little bit of an overpay. You know, DeJounte has obviously signed the extension since then. He was in a little bit of trade talks, or trade rumors, I should say, never really official talks. But I feel like the Hawks got him on an absolute steal. They got the backcourt solidified, but now we need that third star. But is it Siakam? And I really don't know, man. There's been so many rumors, so many, you know, 3-team deals, 2-team deals, maybe even a 4-team deal. And I guess it really would depend on what the cost for a guy like Pascal is. Now, I know the Raptors have a pretty high price tag for him, which if I'm the Hawks, if you have to include any young talent, whether it's AJ Griffin, Jalen Johnson, Okongwu, any of them guys, I don't know how I feel about it, especially since Siakam has came out and said that he will not sign a long-term deal with any other team except for the Raptors. Now, can that change? We have seen guys say that type of, you know, those type of things before. Can that change? Yeah, it can throughout the season. If Atlanta gets him, they start winning ball games, you know, things of that nature. But at what cost? Is it going to cost to get him in a Hawks uniform? I know Clint Capella has been linked to the Mavs. You know, if they can get a 3-team deal done with the, you know, Mavs, Hawks, and Raptors. But again, man, I feel like the only way to get Siakam is if they give up a young talent plus DeAndre Hunter and plus Capella to a third team, which I feel like that package is too steep. I've voiced this before, and I'm going to voice it again. I am still not giving up on DeAndre Hunter. Y'all know how I feel. I've said it 1,000 times. I do not think DeAndre Hunter needs to be traded this offseason. If this upcoming season, we do not see the progression and that jump, sure, look to move him next offseason. But I truly believe that after this upcoming season, with a full season under Quinn Snyder, you are going to see this DeAndre Hunter contract be a value bargain contract. I really think that he's going to take that next step. No, I'm not saying he's going to be an all-star. No, I'm not saying he's going to be that type of player. But I think he's going to be proven to be a very solid key starter for a championship caliber team. I'm not saying we're a championship team. Don't do that. I'm not saying that. But I feel like moving on from DeAndre Hunter at this point would be a mistake, especially if it's for a guy like Siakam, who is older, who is on an expiring deal, who is a potential rental, which we don't want to see. We made the risk for DeJounte with him that was when him having, got my words kind of slurred up there. With him having 2 years left on his deal, multiple draft picks, you cannot give up the house for a guy who is a potential rental with giving up young assets with draft picks with the DeAndre Hunter and also shipping Clint Capella out. It's just not a smart move if you're in the Atlanta's front office. And I feel like that's why the deal has not got done. And we've just kept hearing all these rumblings and rumors since dating back to the draft. Atlanta has so much young talent on the roster with Kobe Buffkin. Now, I was very critical of the Kobe Buffkin draft, but actually, you know, in hindsight, I actually do like the pick with AJ Griffin, with Jalen Johnson, with Double O, with Sadiq Bey. You have a lot of guys on this roster that are young and ready to compete for minutes and everything like that. And I just don't see the Hawks packaging, one or two of those guys in the Siakam deal, because I just don't think it moves the needle that much. It doesn't put you over the Bucks, and it doesn't put you over the Celtics. Yeah, it probably puts you over the Cavs, the Knicks, the Sixers, teams like that in that second tier. But it doesn't put you any higher than the third best team in the East. If they can somehow pull off the deal with maybe just giving up, I'd be okay with giving. I know a lot of you guys are high on Jalen Johnson. I'm high on him too, but I think he is the most expendable piece in a Siakam deal, especially if we're getting a 4 in return, which is Siakam, and we're shipping a 4 out, because now you have Saddiq Bey on the roster at the deadline last year, and I still like Saddiq Bey's game a little bit more than Jalen Johnson. Jalen Johnson may have a higher ceiling, but there's no telling if he will reach that peak with this Hawks team, especially if he's not a starter. It's a lot to be desired in the Siakam deal. It sounds great and it looks great on paper, but I don't know how much it benefits the Hawks if they have to give up that young talent, and I just don't think it's smart. And again, I think that's why we haven't seen the deal get done. I think if the Hawks do make a trade for the rest of the offseason, it will be Clint Capella getting moved, maybe just to the Mavs in a 2-team deal, maybe for just an expiring contract and a draft pick, something along the lines of that. I don't think his value is significantly high. I know we have asked for Josh Green or Jaden Hardy in return back, from the Mavs, which I don't think the Mavs do that. I don't see why they would do that. If Landry Fields can pull that off, cool, but I just don't see that happening. I feel like this is the team, as currently constructed, this is the team that we're going to be going into for next season. It's going to be pretty much the same team outside of John Collins not being on the roster, and now Jalen Johnson, Saddiq Bey getting those minutes at the 4 with DeAndre Hunter. Obviously, I don't think a deal gets done for Siakam. I really don't. I'm 50-50 on it for an expiring deal for young talent. I don't want to see that happen. I don't want to see our young guys get shipped out. I don't want to see DeAndre Hunter get shipped out. So, at the end of the day, Siakam can stay with Toronto. I'm going to pretty much leave it there, man. Not really too much of a long video. Just wanted to come on here and get my return out to y'all. Let y'all know that I'm back. Get a quick little topic in here, you feel me? Content is going to be resuming, so y'all keep a lookout for that. Y'all drop your thoughts down in the comments. What do you think about a Pascal Siakam deal? Do you think Atlanta should try and get a deal done? Do you think we stay in pat for the rest of the offseason? Let me know your thoughts. Drop a like on the video, and I will catch y'all next episode.